This is Dan Diesel. How can I help you?
I need help.
This show, where Ohio throws down. Ohio's on fire. Did you like my intro? It's pretty, ain't it? I am Dan Diesel. This is the show, of course, where Ohio throws down. And this is Ohio's on fire. And I got a big treat for you tonight. We got a lot of cool things going. This is my third show. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for giving me another chance. Hope you always give me a chance every week. This is going to be great tonight. Give you a little thing of what's coming up tonight. In a little bit, around 9:25-ish, we're going to interview a band from New Carlisle area. They've been touring this region of ours, Greene County, Montgomery County. They go by the name of The Rising of Apollo. They will be here. Well, they are here. We will interview them really soon. And we're going to talk about, we have OMVP, and I'll just ramble on about whatever. Hope to improve your life somehow. But two things. First off, I got a friend here. She is brand new to the show. She is my new co-host, at least for this quarter, hopefully maybe longer. So everyone give her a chance, like you've given me a chance. Anyway, so introduce yourself, my new co-host. Okay.
Hello, I am Jessie, and as Dan said, I will be on the show, Ohio's on Fire, for the next quarter. And please do continue to give us a chance week after week, Wednesdays from 9 to 11.
Yeah, Wednesdays 9 to 11. Now, Jessie, yeah, mic 2. She'll speak over at mic 2, of course. I better mic her up. So, Jessie, what do you like radio?
I do like radio.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. This is what we do, is radio. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color changes probably weekly. And for now, it's kind of a teal color.
Teal?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good color.
Turquoise.
All right, what type of music do you like?
I like pretty much all kinds of music, minus jazz and country, so
Okay.
pretty wide variety.
Well, me too. Yeah, minus jazz and country. All right. Trying to think what else. One more question. What are your hobbies? What does Jessie like to do?
Other than listening to music pretty much nonstop, I like to read and write a lot. And do anything that kind of stimulates the creative aspect of life.
Okay, well that's good. Well, Jessie, if you know a little bit more about her, she'll be here for the next 7 or 8 weeks, and she'll be helping me throughout the evening with little stuff here and there, and she'll let me interview the band, which is coming up. So anyway, with her, and she's also, anything I talk about during the show, she's welcome to jump in. It's really random. It's live radio, so she wants to jump in, she can. This is a community show. Everyone has a chance to have their voice put in. But anyway, so that's Jessie. And now I need to have a talk with Ohio. I don't have a sound for that yet, but that's okay. I need to have a talk with Ohio. And a year ago today, as of this program, it's January 20th. A year ago today, some American history was made. Barack Obama was sworn in as President of the United States, our 44th President, and he was the first person of color in this country to become President. It was a historic moment, one of the few great moments that have happened in America this past decade and beyond, whatever you measure as a great moment. And he broke a big color barrier. Now, I just want to mention, being a president has to be a tough job. I think anyone who runs for president, they're not going to always get it right, or any job period. And let me get to my point. Anyone that takes a high position, they'll have high expectations. They're expected to change everything at the whim of their hat, like a little magic wand, like zoom, whatever, something like that. Let's see. Barack Obama had a lot of high expectations. He had a big following. And it's okay to, if someone doesn't do everything correctly, like they have an opinion that's not great, it's okay to criticize that opinion. It's okay to be fair and crucial. However, I live here in Ohio. I've been throughout other places, and a lot of people have talked about this guy, Barack Obama. He's an interesting guy, famous guy. Some people have some strong opinions about him. I think a lot of those strong opinions aren't really just. I think they go too far. And being that this is terrestrial radio, I gotta be careful on what I've heard and seen. So I think opinions about Barack Obama can be too strong at times. I think if you want to criticize him, you should be fair and balanced about like anything else. Because like any other president, they're not going to make all the popular decisions. But people make it seem like he's about to destroy the world. Like the moment he has an idea that people hate, there's some certain groups of people out there that take it way too far, I believe. I don't care for that type of attitude. You you have to be fair, regardless of who is in charge, whether it's the president or the mayor of your town or a city councilor. I mean, they're doing a job and you're not. I would be fairly critical and not take it too far. I do think, he does get a lot of heat. Barack Obama. I mean, just criticize him fairly is all I'm saying. Don't, I think people home probably know what I'm talking about. I think some people do take it too far. Being who he is and how he was raised and the history that perhaps we've had in this country. I would just hope that you can find in your heart to be critical fairly, just not go too far. And that's about the safest I can go on terrestrial radio. I would love to tell you all the things I've heard people have said about this guy. It's unfair, really, but that's life. You you at home have to be the best person you got to be fair-minded. Just don't go too far with language or whatnot. We're college folks here, some adults, maybe some children at home. I'll just say, regardless of what this guy does for the next 3 years, I can only hope that you don't start riots over what he does. I don't think he's not a terrorist. I'll say that. I don't think he's a terrorist. That's something I've heard. He's just another guy that's president, I mean, we've had Bill Clinton and Nixon, whatever. I mean, we're all humans. We're all Americans. If you don't agree with something, then be fair. Just be fair. Don't go too far. So anyway, that's all I feel safe saying about the whole situation. And but it was a year ago. And I bring it up because it's a year ago. He's been president now for a year. He made history, and we'll see what happens for the next 3 years. Maybe some changes will happen. We will see. As being the president, I guess he's in charge of all the states. It's the leader of the country, if you will. So even Ohio, he's a big influence in Ohio. A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. And they can go like people that dislike him. I think they have the wrong ideas for disliking him, and some people they have the right ideas for not liking some of his policies or whatnot. So anyway, well so I'll leave it at that. Try to be fair-minded when critiquing your presidents, regardless of who it is. Try to be fair, if all possible. Anyway, we got political on this show a little bit, Jesse. Anyway, like I said, Rising Apollo's coming up in a little bit. Let's see what else I can talk about. A little recap of, some little sports report. The Cleveland Cavaliers, of course, they're in the middle of their regular season in the NBA. You can check them out. They have one of the best records in the Eastern Conference. The great LeBron James, or King James, if you will. So you can check them out on TV sometimes. Of course, we've got Wright State Raiders Sports. If you want to come to another center for some home basketball games or some home volleyball, because everyone loves volleyball. Anyway, you got to just get tickets, check us out. There's that. The Cincinnati Reds, we start in March. They'll have a few spring training games on the Fox Sports Net. And so you can check them out. Of course, like I said a week ago, I think they're going to finish in 5th place. I'm not overly excited. But they should prove me wrong, though. Just prove me wrong. We are back on Ohio's on Fire to show where Ohio throws down. I am Dan Diesel with my co-host Jesse. And we got a great group here. They go by the name The Rising of Apollo. They're here right now. Welcome, you guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
All right, now introduce yourself individually.
Okay, I am Nate. I do the singing and vocals for the band.
My name is Scott, and I drum. My name's TJ, and I play guitar and do some backup vocals.
I'm Derek, and I also play guitar. I'm Tommy, and I play bass.
All right, awesome. Now I was curious. Me and Jess were wondering, you guys still in high school?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. You guys are young. I thought you guys were because I heard you guys play on MySpace and whatnot. You guys have a mature sound for your age. So yeah, this is you guys are on the right track, I think. Now I just have to know, where did Rising of Apollo come from? The name Rising of Apollo. Who came up with that?
Originally, the name came from our old singer Josh and TJ. They got together because originally the band was formed sort of like I want to say like a garage band, just kind of messing around in it. I wasn't in the band at the time, but from the story that we've kind of shared with other people, that it was just Josh and Apollo sounded cool, and we were trying to, because our music is we want people to embrace it and to rise up. So we just kind of figured, since Apollo is sort of part of the sun and everything, so it kind of, I don't know, it kind of had some sort of underlying meaning to everything.
Okay, I want to know who, now guitar-wise, who you think's the best? And I guess I was gonna say Ohio, but I guess you can make it throughout America. Who's your favorite guitarist?
I'm the drummer. I like Ted Nugent, but I don't play guitar, so
Okay.
I don't have experience in the field.
Okay, Ted Nugent.
I'm Derek. I think Joe Bonamassa is probably my favorite guitarist. He's a blues player, but he is absolutely amazing.
Well, I grew up listening to a lot of Metallica, so I'm definitely have to go with Kirk Hammett. He
Okay.
really inspired me.
Cool beans. All right, now what do you got now? I know there's a popular video game. There's the Guitar Hero and Rockstar. It's been one of the biggest craze for the last 3 or 4 years. What now? I wonder what you guys think of that game. Do you guys think it's good for people that want to be good at rock music, or what are your thoughts on Guitar Hero and Rockstar? And be honest.
Well, Guitar Hero and Rock Band, for me, I'm a really big nerd when it comes to video games, so I've always been into that kind of stuff. But for me, I think it's a really cool experience. It's a way to sort of interact with music in a way that, normal people, a lot of people can't, because, playing music is honestly, or what I believe is sort of like a gift. And so I think Rock Band and Guitar Hero are really fun, and especially at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're in nothing but your pajamas dancing around like you're on stage. That's what I do when I'm at home, so.
All right.
Here's our Scotty real quick. Tell how good you are at your guitar.
Tell us, man.
Yeah, I play drums in real life, but my best instrument is guitar on Guitar Hero.
Okay.
So I'm just going to say that.
All right. Well, now my lovely co-host Jessie, she has a few questions for you guys. So take it away, Jessie.
All right, I'm just kind of curious, being still in high school, is it hard to manage playing shows at the same time as schoolwork?
Well, yeah, because only a couple of us drive. None of us are really working right now, so very limited income is coming in, and it makes it really hard, to try to get money to get out and play. But we're still actually relying on our parents to help us bring gear to shows.
It's okay, I'm still relying on my parents too a little bit.
Oh, that's the economy, it's what you got to do, right?
Yeah. So are most of your shows kind of just right around Dayton, or what's the furthest away you've played?
Probably Trenton. Trenton's the farthest we've actually gone so far, and we actually had a funny experience with that. We were on the way to the show, and Tommy was driving, and he got in a car accident on the way there. So it's been quite an experience to just try to get away from Dayton, but hopefully we want to get to Cincinnati and further.
All right. It's kind of funny you mentioned the car accident, because my next question is, tell me a funny story, either from like a live performance or from practice, that's like one of those liners for you guys. It's like, remember when so-and-so, did such and such?
Oh, yeah. Well, I actually play guitar mostly, even though I sing now. But, like, We were at practice, and we get crazy at practice. We jump around and kick each other and all this and that. Well, I ended up bashing my head on my guitar and had to get 9 stitches during practice. And I didn't notice it at first because I guess I hit my head and it was so hard that like it went numb. And it was right inside of my eyebrow. And you can sort of still see where like the scars are. But yeah, 9 stitches.
Wow.
The thing about that also, when he did it, we just kept playing the song too. We were dedicated to the music. We had to get the song done, and then we took him up to the house and cleaned him up.
Awesome. All right, my last question is, where does your inspiration come when you're writing new music and lyrics?
First and foremost, for God. You know, we really, really wholeheartedly believe that playing music to inspire people to come to God is a really great way to inspire people, you know, and it inspires us. So we always turn to God and just kind of, we get together and pray. You know, and even individually, that's kind of the first thought is, you know, just what can we do to, you know, support God and to let Him be known.
All right, that's pretty awesome.
And also, like, we get a lot of inspiration from each other. Like, even though we may not play each other's instrument, we always have ideas of, like, it seems like we're all musically inclined. Like, it's just in our blood to where, like, we can, like, the guitarist can tell me, oh, do this on the drums, or me as a drummer, I can tell the guitarist, hey, try this, or whatever. So, like, it's mutual. Like, we help each other out, and I think that's a good gift that we have as a band, as a whole.
Cool.
So.
All right. Well, good job, Jessie. That was some good. That's the first time interviewing. So good job. A little clap. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's new here. That's
Bueno.
all right. Good. All right. Now I got some good news. We will be right back. That was the first part of the interview.
106.9 WWSU, Fairborn Dayton, the right choice.
This is the right choice of WWSU 106.9. You're listening to Ohio's on Fire with Dan Diesel and Jessie. We are back, and we had a bunch of calls during our little break. Thank you for everyone that called. And before we get to the questions, our winner of our little contest is Greg Rogers from Dayton, Ohio. He won, oh yeah, round of applause. He won the 2 tickets, and he's going to be on his way. He's got until Friday afternoon to come get them, though. I told him, but he said he's getting them, so congratulations. Winner contest. So I'll ask that question of Greg Rogers. It's a question for the drummer. He wants to know who is your influence, who's your favorite drummer, and why.
I'd have to say a lot of people who are listening may not know this guy because he's older, but he's a jazz drummer, and my biggest inspiration is probably Buddy Rich, because he's way ahead of his generation. He's way ahead of everybody drumming now, and I think just his style and his technique was above everybody who has ever lived. And I'm very fortunate to be brought up in a household to listen to Buddy Rich and know how to drum, because I think has really given me the edge over a lot of other local drummers around here. So that's probably my biggest inspiration, Buddy Rich.
All right, Buddy Rich is a good drummer. And that was a question asked by our first caller, and we had like 4 other callers. They all actually asked the same question. Thank you for those guys that called in. They want to know about your gigs. I think they like your sound. Talk about your upcoming gigs. I know you got 2 on your MySpace. Yeah, just let us know what's coming up for you guys.
Yeah, well, we always play this place called the Attic. It's in Kettering. It's a really, really cool place. It's actually run by a church in Kettering, and the people that are at the church, they also obviously run the Attic. And we're actually playing there this Friday, and I think the show starts at 8, and tickets are just $8. It's a really, really awesome experience because it's a great way to come out and see a lot of local acts. We're playing with I Am Ocean and O Discordia that night. So
Cool
that's the one that we're trying to promote the most. So yeah, come on out and see us. We love meeting new people and making new friends.
Yeah, I look up bands on wait a minute. Yeah, I look up bands. It's on MySpace and upcoming shows. And I think for this weekend, I think you guys do have the most compelling lineup, because everyone else, it's like not that there's nothing wrong with everyone else in the other place, but just for this weekend, I think you guys are the most interesting one. You guys do cost $8. A lot of the bands are free. I think you guys are worth the $8 though. I mean, that's why you cost $8. If you guys still come to join, I think you'd be free. I don't think no one paid for you. So $8, that's something. So that's why. So if there are tickets available, I guess. Their next show is this Friday night, and it's January 22nd, 8 p.m. And they are the main act at the Attic, along with, of course, the Scoria and the other band. Forgot their name already, but so check so check them out. Of course, they're also on February 13th at 8 p.m. also at the Attic. Now I know you do perform at the Attic a lot, Alan. Have you heard anything on the streets like about the reputation of the Attic? Like, do you hear people say, "Oh, the Attic, that place stinks," or "Oh, this is the coolest place in the world"? What's the reputation of the Attic?
I'm pretty decent friends with like people at school and around the Dayton area, and a lot of them say that the Attic's a great place. It's also it's very hard for local acts to perform there just because the Attic is really diligent about wanting people to bring, bands bringing people. So if you don't, so I've heard people that from like bands that haven't necessarily brought in enough people that to have as many opportunities to play with bigger bands that come through the Attic. But other than that, all I've heard is just it's a great opportunity. So.
Okay. Any other opinions from the other bandmates or just him? All right.
The Attic.
Oh, he's going.
Yeah, I got one. The Attic's a really cool place. I got to know the owner really well. His name's Jim, and he runs it really well. They have a lot of touring bands come through there too. We play with bands like Red, Emarosa, Burden of a Day, I See Stars, just a bunch of really cool bands, and we got to get to know them. They're really cool. It really does help and provide some good times for the local bands, help make it. So it's really nice.
All right. Now I just I know a lot of bands, they have things that take place while they're traveling or doing things when they rehearse or whatnot. That they're known as road stories. I was wondering if you guys have an FCC friendly road story you'd like to share with us. Something that comes to mind, something interesting.
Something that comes to mind.
I already mentioned it with the car accident.
Yeah, we've already mentioned the car accident.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, that one was
Still a
that
story,
was bad.
Well, there was this one time where we were trying to. It's not necessary because Kettering isn't very far, but we actually lost a couple tickets to one of our shows, and we spent like half the day driving around trying to figure out where these tickets were. And we were like on the verge of like crying almost because we were afraid that we were gonna have to pay that money. And it was funny because in our practice room it was sitting right behind a TV, just like in plain day sight the whole time. And so
That was definitely my fault. It was my set of tickets too. I had to sell, and I left them in my amp because I don't know why. I was like, oh well, I'm gonna bring this to the gig and I'll be good. I'll have it with me. And then we get halfway down the road and it's just like, where did those tickets go? And I was just freaking out. It was pretty scary.
Oh right, that would suck.
yeah, I guess.
All right, just a few more questions. Maybe you can answer this. I was thinking, throughout Ohio, whether I guess entertainment-wise or perhaps political-wise, what would you like to see more of in the state of Ohio?
That's a good question. Me personally, there's a lot of areas that I wish that were a little bit more cleaned up. It seems like the communities somewhat are tight-knit, but it's more of like out of the communities for me. I would just like to see more people get together, to clean up buildings that have, like graffiti on them, and, take the time to pick up, some of the, trash that lays around in some of the parks that I've seen. Ohio, I think, is a pretty great place to live, but, there are some times when I'm like, man, I wish people could get along a little bit better, so.
Okay. Wow, that's a really good answer, man. Yeah, and he's only like, how old are you? Well, that's awesome. Yeah, you've a big answer from a 17-year-old. Wait, look out for this guy. Anyway, all right. Well, we're about almost done with this interview. Right now, I want you guys to make a shout to anyone you want to, your friends or family or whatnot. Each of you get a shout as many people as you want.
I'd like to shout out to my man Alex Wilkinson. And I'd also like to thank all my other friends who got on to listen to support us. So yeah, you guys are awesome.
I'd like to give a shout out to both my mom and my dad, my stepdad Corey, and my stepmom Jill. Those people are probably one of the biggest inspirations in my life, and I wouldn't be where I am right now if it wasn't for them. So thanks, guys. I love you.
I want to give out a shout out to first off my dad. He really started me with guitar. He's helped me get along the way, and it's a great thing. Give a shout out to the rest of my family for help supporting me at the attic. Also give a shout out to Mr. Rick Waite for help doing our band promos. He's a good guy.
Absolutely.
And Ryan Stapleton for helping out some of the photos as well.
I'd like to give a shout out, of course, to my parents, being there, driving me to practice, helping out with money situations and things. For everybody listening in and supporting the band, my girlfriend Valerie and my friend Justin.
I'd like to give a shout out to my whole family, all 10 of them. They've supported me through everything, helped us out with everything, and we practiced at my house. They haven't complained about it too much. You know, it helped us out a lot. So,
And I think for all of us, we'd also like to give a shout out to God.
Yeah,
For being in our
Yep.
lives and blessing us and
Keep helping
giving us the
out.
opportunities.
Awesome.
You know,
Yeah.
seriously, like just being on this show, you know, is just a sign that the Lord has plans for us all. So.
I'd also like to give a shout out to my parents because there's a lot of stuff that's went on with me and the band, and my parents have helped me. Like, they've helped me get through this, and because my schedule's real tight, and they've supported me and helped me do the stuff I love. So I'd like to thank you guys for that.
All right, awesome shout outs. Well, we have just interviewed the upcoming band, Rising of Apollo. They had a good song we played a little bit ago, The Fall of Man, and they're once again they're coming to you this Friday at the Attic, January 22nd. It's $8. There are just a few tickets available. Yeah, just good luck to you guys.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
All right, and good luck in high school. Also, welcome back to the start of the second hour of Ohio's on Fire. But we got another 50 minutes of good action here. A lot of good stuff here, and I'm with my co-host Jessie. So anyway, a lot of good stuff. And also, if you want to call in a request for rest at any point during our commercial, like I said, 775-5555. I've given away the tickets. And but call in if you have something to say, have something on your mind, someone giving you a hard time, if you will, or you have a song request. Just go ahead and do that. But anywho, it's now time for everyone's favorite new segment. It's everyone's favorite award. It's the buzz of the streets. Everyone's going crazy over it. They're starting fires right now. It is OMVP, Ohio's most valuable pedestrian. And wait for the music. Here it comes. Do 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 do. Last part. Alright, that's cool. Anyway, OMVP. Okay, and it goes out to someone from Ohio that's doing something interesting, or it's kind of a newsmaker, or just something that just catches your eye. And this is our third winner ever. And she is kind of well known if you are into, if you ever read Victoria's Secret catalogs. She grew up in Kettering, Ohio. She is one and only Brooklyn Decker. Really nice looking supermodel. She's been in a lot of Sports Illustrated swimsuit editions. She's been in Maxim, a lot of magazines, probably at least over 100 magazines. And she's also married to the great Andy Roddick, who is a tennis player. But yeah, Brooklyn Decker, she has family in Ohio still. And and I'll make a little announcement. She is going to be, I don't think she's on the cover, but she will be appearing as a model in the 2010 edition of the Swimsuit Illustrated contest, or magazine, if you will. So she will be a model in that once again. She's really nice. I suggest you be 13 and older before viewing her photos, if she might burn your eyes out. Anyway, so Jessie, what do you think of Brooklyn Decker? What are your thoughts of this?
You know, I didn't know who she was until you said who her husband was. But, you know, I think she definitely does deserve this award for the week. So, go her.
Yeah, go Brooklyn Decker. That's great. Trying to think what else. Well, another thing I heard, she does a little of acting now. She's joining these other models that are double frets, if you will. They act and what else? Yeah, act and model. She acted on Betty, that show on ABC, Ugly Betty. She made some cameo appearances on that. I think she was also on Nip Tuck this past July, I believe. So she's making cameos on films and shows. So she's making her way up. She's trying to be the next Tyra, if you will. But I know she's nice. She's got charisma. I mean, what can I say? And also the swimsuit edition, the reason why she wins it this week, it comes out in about 2 weeks, early February. So and there was nothing else interesting in the news taking place, so might as well give it to her. She's from Ohio. So Brooklyn Decker, we salute you. You are the OMVP for January 20th. Round of applause. And yeah, good for you. Here's the music once again. This is for you. Wait a minute. Get the music going. Here we go. Alright, that's good. That's your music. The Olympic theme, if you will. So that was, yeah, once again, Brooklyn Decker. So, trying to think what else. We did OMVP. I'm trying to think what else. Jesse, what's on your mind? Is there anything you want to, is there anyone you'd like to, you have any shout-outs? Give some shout-outs to anyone you want to, since you're new.
Well, I know my mom and my stepdad are probably still listening at this time, but generally they go to bed around 10. So if you're up still, thanks, Mom. And my best friend Chelsea. I'm sure she's trying to catch us in her car.
Okay. All right, now Jesse, if the moon was made out of cheddar cheese, would you take a bite out of it?
If I could find a way to the moon, I would probably take a bite out of it. Would you?
Yes, I would. I would bring a thing of ranch dressing along. It'd be just like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which, of course, that's 2 weeks away, the Super Bowl. So that's a little hint. Get your cheese ball and ranch dressing and wings. Get ready for your Super Bowl. Unfortunately, the Bengals, they lost a few weeks ago, so they won't be going to the Super Bowl. And I think it got cheated. I think the referees were biased. I think because they were playing a New York team, and of course New Yorkers, they have a bigger fan base because they're in a bigger city than Cincinnati, and more people will watch the games on a week. So I think the referees. Now I kind of think I do, because there was one play in particular. I think it was the third quarter. Chad Ochocinco, he made a diving catch in the end zone. I think that was a catch, and he came down and the ball came loose, but I think he had secured though, and the referees called an incomplete. I kind of think he caught that. I mean, it didn't touch the ground, just he caught it. Both feet were in, and then when he hit the ground, then the ball tumbled around on his chest a little bit, and eventually it popped out. But I think that's a catch. Just let them have it. It's the playoffs. Let the Bengals have it. They never win the Super Bowl. They haven't won a playoff game since '91. I'm losing a little faith in my Cincinnati Bengals, so I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, Palmer, as long as he can stay healthy, I think he broke his thumb, I guess, a few weeks back, so he hasn't been throwing the ball well lately. He's had to hand it off. When he hands it off to the running back, it goes to the other guy. Or no, his other hand, I mean. His opposite hand. So, I don't know, maybe that affected him. Because the Bengals, they started 9-2. They did lose a lot of games late in the season. But hopefully that fixed. Hopefully Palmer can go a whole year without hurting himself. And there's things are looking up for next year for the Bengals. And I guess the Browns also. They got a Mike Holmgren then. So, we'll see. So football season's done for me. I'll watch the Super Bowl, but yeah, the only time I ever watched football is Cincinnati Bengals. I don't really watch that much college and high school. That's just my take. It's up to you. It's a free country, a free state, if you will. You do what you want to do. Okay, so that was our football talk. All right, I'll ask one more silly question to Jesse. What's your favorite restaurant?
Ooh. Hands down, my favorite restaurant is Taco Bell.
Okay, that's a good place.
Yeah.
My favorite place of all time is Red Lobster.
Oh.
If I could have, I have a dream meal. If I could have any meal of the world, I'd want the I forget what it's called. The fried platter at Red Lobster. There's Caesar salad and a nice Coke. Yeah, this is great. I love Red Lobster. I've never ever had a bad meal from there. Welcome back to Ohio is on Fire. I am Dan Diesel, along with my co-host Jessie. But she'll be back next week. This is my last segment of the show. Something I've been doing as part of my last segment. Something I'm working with. It's a thing I call the Ohio's on Fire message. And I give it a shot. But anyway, this week I want to talk about hatred. Hatred in general. It's a really strong thing when you hate somebody. When you just dislike someone, they did something wrong to you. And they just, and you just hate people. You hear it in the news. You hate crimes, hate speech. It can go way too far. Like you can hate individuals or hate groups of people. It happens. It's part of our society. And to tie into what I talked about earlier, how I think certain people like our president of the United States, I think he gets he's a victim of hatred. I think people's opinions can go too far. They have no reason to like they swear and whatnot and all, and they curse someone down or a group of people down just because of what they are. Yeah, people just go too far. Like it's not even ridicule anymore. It's one thing to ridicule someone, then it's to then there's one thing to just destroy them. Like just I mean, you gotta be careful. I don't think I hate anybody. I'm not perfect, but there's some. I mean, I guess the hatred. I think the level of hatred goes to people that kill someone. Like once you get to a point where you're killing someone or you're making hate signs, it goes way too far. There is a certain level of hatred, and with that, I do think I think a hatred within someone. I think it can be stopped. There are alternatives. I think a person can stop hatred. And that leads me to this. I know this is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, but there's a little show called Celebrity Rehab. I watch it pretty much that's really the only show I watch on VH1. I don't really care what most of their programming. Of course, I'll get to that in the future. But one show, for some reason, I like is Celebrity Rehab. These people are really brave. And I bring this up. I mean, they need help with a problem. They got a real bad problem. It's rehabilitation and some that we've known of. Well, I guess people don't really talk about what type of rehabs they are. Of course, this particular celebrity rehab, of course, there's deals with drinking and alcohol abuse. They go there to talk to people. They talk to the Dr. Drew, a bunch of other experts. Hopefully, heal their problem. And it's like that a lot of rehabs. And I'll tell you there's only 3 types that I know of in America that have to do with rehabs. Of course, the first one, of course, deals with alcohol and drug abuse. Substance abuse is what they've determined it's called. Substance abuse. That's the first type of rehab. Now, the second type of rehab is, I guess, sex rehab, which, that's another show I guess Dr. Drew did, the sex rehab. He does them all, I guess. He's the world's richest doctor. He do all the rehabs. But there is a thing called sexual rehab for those that they have infidelity problems. Which, of course, the great golfer Tiger Woods, he is indeed in a sex rehab now. It's been reported in the news. So apparently it's a problem. He can't shake. He's trying to get it fixed. So good luck to him. But sex rehab, I guess people that infidelity. Like if you have a spouse, it's for people that are married. But they go out and sleep with multiple partners, and of course not letting their other loved one know about it. And it could also feature other dangerous sexual acts, something that's considered dangerous by doctors. And so yeah, there's sex rehab, however you want to put it. And there's another rehab that I know of. There's not very many of these around. It got started in Ohio, actually. I think it was Athens, Ohio. I call it a mental rehab, I guess to be safe. But basically it's for people that think they've been brainwashed. And I'll explain this rehabilitation. There's only a few of these in America. But basically say I I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, okay, say if you were a little child and you were kidnapped. This is one example I guess they've mentioned. If you're a little child and you were kidnapped by a group of people or in a cult, if you will, they tell you things. They give you a certain mind thinking. They tell you certain things. You have a certain way of living, but it goes against a normal lifestyle, and it gets in your brain. Like, the more you hear it, if you hear it constantly, like for at least a year, it's going to get to your head eventually. And that's what people call brainwashing. But there's some like that, and there's people that, of course, there are. I won't mention any names. I guess there's certain religious groups throughout the world. They are considered cults, and I won't mention any. It's your opinion. That's debatable by itself, because some people have, one group could be a cult, and some people say it's not. Just radical opinions, and but some people think they've been hurt by these groups, and I call it mental rehabilitation. It's unbrainwash you. Another good example is if you've been abused as a child. I know if you're young, it could be a parent or a teacher. I know that's another example of mental rehab that I heard they mention. Basically, you were made fun of a lot by your adult superiors. You were made fun of. You get my drift. Just some all mental abuse as a child. They deal with that too. So that's mental rehabilitation. So I'll get to my point. There's 3 rehabs I know of. There needs to be a 4th one. I'm putting my fist down right now. I think a 4th one should be invented. It should be a rehab for hatred. A hatred rehab. I do think hatred comes from the mind. It comes from what you learned about other people. And I do think there should be hatred rehab. If you know what hatred is, if you've seen it on the news, why do people shoot people? Why do people harm others real badly? Why do others hate someone for who they are? That comes from somewhere. That's in the mind. It's very radical. And I think I'm sure there's doctors that talk about this in private meetings. As I know of, there's no rehabilitation for hatred. I think it'd be a great thing. I think it could keep people from being the people that are racist. They could be unracized. I don't know what the word is. They could be. They could talk to good people, like you can talk to good doctors now. These other rehabilitations, you can. I guess. I could be wrong. I don't think there's one in existence. It's something I actually thought of. A hatred rehab. If you know someone that really hates somebody and there's no reason to hate somebody, if it's so severe, I know there's such a thing as strong dislike. I guess you don't have to throw everyone in a rehabilitation. It's your preference. I think hatred is dangerous when it is threatening your own life. When you've officially harmed someone based on your hatred, and you go to prison for it, of course. I think that's my opinion. Hatred rehab. I don't think there's one in existence, but there's not. Let me know. I'll look it up. I didn't see one though. So there's the 3 rehabilitations, and I think if not a rehab, there needs to be a place someone can go to that's full of hate. Someone that if you think someone's in danger of killing someone or doing something really stupid or doing a hate speech rally, someone that's way out there, someone really radical, there should be at least a center or a hotline someone should know about they can go to, something that can ease the hatred or make it go away. And I'm not a doctor, so I'm not the one to do that. But that's just something to think of. If think of them, or you know what, that's why I thought of maybe there's another rehabilitation, another thing that's an issue with human beings. Maybe you can think of it. So a little challenge. Just think of something that's wrong with the world. Is there something that can be do? Could there be a good rehab for that problem?